I didn't always have this beast of a gaming rig. Nope. Back in the day, my PC was more like a potato with a power button. High-end games? Forget about it. But you know what? I made it work. I dug through trenches of low-end gaming, trying out anything that wouldn't make my PC burst into tears, and guess what? I survived. So if you're sitting there, staring at your old reliable or not so reliable machine, thinking you will never play anything decent, don't worry, I've got your back. I've put together a list of games that even the most ancient of devices can handle. Trust me, I know your pain, and I'm here to ease it. So, ready to level up on a budget? Let's dive in. Alright, let's talk about a game that will definitely not starve your low-end PC. Don't Starve, and its multiplayer sibling Don't Starve Together. With a highly positive review on Steam and a reputation for being an awesome co-op experience, these creepy survival gems are classic for a reason. The best part, you may ask, they'll run on just about anything, including that dusty old laptop you've been holding on to for sentimental reasons, or because you're broke. No judgment. This game gives me chills every time I play, and not just because of the creepy art style. The story and character depth are so good, it doesn't matter if your PC is held together by duct tape, Don't Starve is a must play. The characters are charming, the dialogue is quirky, and the lore surprisingly deep. It's like someone sprinkled a horror movie into a Tim Burton sketchbook and said, "Here, survive this." Now, I'm not gonna lie, playing this game as a beginner is like trying to cook a government meal with no recipe. You're going to die a lot, but hey, that's part of fun, right? My advice, drag your friends into the chaos or watch a few beginner guides so you're not totally lost. Trust me, the funny or traumatizing moments that emerge from the game are worth it. I highly recommend giving it a try. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Number 9, Far Cry 2.
A living being seeks above all else to discharge its strength. Life itself is willed to power, nothing else matters.
Now let me take you back in time. My first Far Cry game was Far Cry 3, and naturally, I wanted to jump straight into Far Cry 4. But my laptop took one look at the system requirements and laughed. So with no other option, I gave Far Cry 2 a shot. I didn't want to play it. I mean, who would want to willingly go back in time when shiny new sequels exist? But boy, I was wrong. Far Cry 2, man, this game is most immersive experience I've ever had, not just in the Far Cry series, but in any game, period. This game holds its own against any of the 7 mainline Far Cry titles. Seriously, Far Cry 2 could be considered the best Far Cry game, and I'm not just saying that because my laptop couldn't handle anything else. Set in the African savannah, the game throws you into a tough situation right from the start. You arrive in a gritty sun-scorched landscape, and bam, you get hit with malaria. Yep, the game just hands you a disease as a welcome gift. Now you got to navigate this hostile environment, compete with gun-toting enemies and ever-present need to find malaria meds. Talk about survival of the fittest. I could go on and on about this game, but honestly, you just have to experience it yourself. No matter if your PC is low-end or high-end, do yourself a favor and try Far Cry 2 today, and trust me, you won't regret it. Number 8, Skyrim. I remember the first time I dove into the world of Skyrim, the quests, the story, the choices. It was like stepping into a fantasy novel but better, because I got to swing swords and shout dragons out of the sky. And the best part, it was running smoothly on my old laptop, which was practically held together by duct tape and prayers at that point. Skyrim is still my all-time favorite game, and honestly, I don't need to point out why. Everyone knows Skyrim is the greatest game of all time. It's like the Beyoncé of video games. It needs no introduction, but if you haven't tried it yet, what are you doing with your life? Seriously, go play it. Your future self will thank you. Number 7, Hades. Now, by the looks of it, you'd think this game wouldn't need high-end rig to run, and you're right. Hades will run on just any devices, so no worries there. But don't let that fool you. This isn't your typical hack and slash. Hades is literally one of the best hack and slash games ever made, and it's got a twist. Let me break it down for you. You play as Zagreus, the son of Hades, and like any rebellious teenager, you want to break free from your dad's underworld kingdom, so you go against his will and try to escape. But there's a catch. Every time you die, and trust me, you're sent right back to where you started. It's like an internal Groundhog Day, but with more demons and less Bill Murray. Each time you come back, you get to upgrade yourself, making you stronger and more equipped to handle underworld challenges. The more you progress, the more truth you unravel, and and the deeper the story gets. So it's not about hacking and slashing your way through enemies, it's about getting a little better every time, which is basically the game's way of telling you it's okay to fail, just fail better. Seriously, if you haven't tried Hades yet, you're missing out. It's one of the best titles out there and your old laptop will thank you for it. Number 6. Spec Ops The Line. Now here's a gem I stumbled upon by accident, and boy, I'm glad I did. This underrated title doesn't just run on low-end computers, it thrives on them. But don't let this easy to run aspect fool you. This is one of the best shooting games I've ever played, hands down. The story and concept, absolutely mind-blowing. You're part of a 4-man team and throughout the game you'll have to cooperate with your squad to fight your way through the chaos. But what really sets this game apart is the damage system. As you progress, your character gets more and more battered, and by the end they look like they've been through a meat grinder. It's a gritty, immersive touch that adds a whole new level of realism. Honestly, it's like the game is saying, yeah, you're a tough guy, but let's see how tough you are when you're limping through the desert with a broken spirit. It's brutal, but it's amazing. If you're into shooters and if you haven't played Spec Ops The Line, do yourself a favor and give it a go. Just be prepared for some serious emotional damage along the way. Number 5. Darksiders 1. I remember back when I was a kid, I used to search for this game all the time but never got a chance to play it. Then one day when I had nothing else to play, I finally got my hands on it and gave it a try. And wow, that first part was insane. Var, the character you play as, instantly becomes one of my favorites. I mean, just look at him. He's got that whole brooding apocalyptic vibe going on. Playing as Var was like being the coolest anti-hero in the room, and he's still my favorite Darksiders character to this day. But here's where it gets interesting. One day my friend and I bought a DVD of Darksiders 2 from a local store. My laptop could barely handle it, running the game at a glorious 5 to 10 FPS, but hey, I still completed it, right? It was like playing an epic slow motion movie the whole time. And Darksiders 3, well, let's just say it's still a heavy title, and your potato of a PC with a switch for a button isn't going to cut in. But if you want to experience a great Darksiders game without turning your computer into a toaster, Darksiders 1 is perfect for you. Trust me, your PC will thank you, and you'll get to experience a classic that's just as epic as it sounds. Number 4. The Mafia 2. I never played the original Mafia game, but I did dive into the remake. However, back in the day, Mafia 2 was my gateway into the series. And let me tell you, it blew my mind. The jail, the mission, the winter arc, dressing like a real Mafia boss with a black long coat and a hat, I was hooked. I felt like I was living my best virtual mobster life. I still remember getting thrown in jail in the game, of course, and then being handed the glorious task of cleaning the toilet. And it wasn't just a simple button press. No, you had to clean the toilet properly. Dude, that mission still makes me laugh to this day. It's the most unexpected welcome to prison moment in gaming history. Mafia 2 didn't exactly run smoothly on my laptop, but it was definitely playable, and despite the occasional frame drop, I was so immersed in the story and the world that I didn't even care. If you haven't tried it, give it a go. It is an experience you won't forget, even if your PC is held together with a duct tape and hope. Number 3. Outlast and its DLC Whistleblower. Man, those were some of the best horror experiences my friend and I had back in the day. Seriously, I don't remember playing a game that could match the sheer terror of Outlast. Whether you've got a low-end PC or high-end PC, Outlast is a must-try and a benchmark of horror games. In this game, forget about guns, all you get is a camera with night vision and 2 legs to run like your life depends on it. Because it does, and speaking of running, you'll be doing a lot of it, usually with a monster hot on your heels. But wait, there's more. If you thought the original Outlast was terrifying, just wait until you try the Whistleblower DLC. It's like Outlast on steroids. You play as a whistleblower who leaks sensitive information and then becomes the guinea pig for truly messed up experiments. It's even more horrifying than the base game. Trust me, if you want to experience horror that'll make you question your life choices, Whistleblower is where it's at. Just remember to play with the lights on, or don't, if you really want the full experience. Number 2. Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. They are not demanding games, so your low-end devices can easily run them. I remember when I first got the DVD of Dark Souls 1, I sunk dozens of hours into it, discussing strategies with my friends. I recall my new friend couldn't kill a single boss, so I visited to his house to take down bosses like Taurus Demon and the Witch. Then he used Cheat Engine and wrecked his game. I was so frustrated because here I was honing my skills and battling through one of the toughest games I've ever played, while he just pressed one button button and beat every boss. Anyway, Dark Souls 1 was one of the most challenging games I've ever played, and it was a gateway into the Soul series. After that, I played Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 with my friend in co-op, and last year I completed Elden Ring. And finally, number 1, Prince of Persia. If you haven't played the Prince of Persia series yet, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Start playing it now. Prince of Persia, The Warrior Within and The True Thrones are my favorite. I do like the Sands of Time and Forgotten Sands, but Warrior Within and The True Thrones are the best games I've ever played. Warrior Within was the first game to introduce me to the story-driven gaming and showed me what a true story games looks like. The time travel and the Dhaka still gives me goosebumps. And whenever I want to feel nostalgic, I just watch their cutscenes on YouTube. The PoP franchise is not demanding at all. Just get the games and start playing. There's a reason I put the PoP series at the top of my list. It's just perfect for low-end systems, but overall it's one of the best games I've ever played. The story, the combat, the cutscenes, everything, you must experience it. So if you have enjoyed this dive into gaming gems that won't break the bank or your PC, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome content. Got any hidden ideas or favorite games you think I should check out? Drop them out in the comments. I love discovering new titles and hearing them from you. And thanks for watching, and until next time, keep gaming and stay awesome.
Good job!